everybody, Jim Palmer, the newsletter guru and your dream business coach. As always, I'm committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. It is a very chilly Monday morning. It is right after my very successful Dream Business Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and the 24-hour mastermind in the Chesapeake, where I had 12 or 13 really smart entrepreneurs down to my boat, and I actually had to rent another boat, and we did some masterminding on the Chesapeake. I want to tell you about a couple of profit seats, but a little voice in my head said, well, tell them why you're hiding out in your boat for a couple of days. You know, I have a home office, and I have pretty good discipline. I can turn off, but if I have a weakness, if my brain's engaged and I got my home office, and even if I'm on R&R, and let's say I'm on the couch or sitting in the backyard or walking blue or doing something, I'll zip into my office and check something to do something. By sequestering myself on my boat, yeah, I can be online if I want to, but there's a lot less for me to do or want to do when I'm on my boat, and there's a lot more reasons to fool around on my boat, clean the wood, polish, do this or that. So anyway, I have sequestered myself for a couple days of R&R here on the perfect timing. You know, one of the things that came out of our profit seats, and I love doing profit seats, and you know, the people that open up and share and get vulnerable get some amazing feedback. And I think at the end of it, even though sometimes it's hard to go through when you share that level of you know, kind of intimacy about your business and what you're going through personally, it's hard, but man, you come out of it the other side a much stronger entrepreneur. There's one thing I wanted to share, and I saw this common thread through a couple of the profit seats, and people said this is really, really hard. And it's not hard because of slow growth. It's usually hard because we're massive growth, or we're growing really fast, and I feel like I'm out of control, and I'm working a ton of hours, and I just don't know what's going on. And I remember those days. I kind of had them twice. Once in my first business, and then you know, when I started getting multiple businesses going, and I was kind of handling everything, and I certainly understand what that's like for the last 3 weeks, even prepping for this Dream Business Academy when I was so short-handed, and it was crazy. But I always remember, like, sometimes if you go to a restaurant and it's really, really busy, and everybody's running around like with their hair on fire, and I'm thinking, you know, I told Steph one time, we're sitting there and the waitresses are bouncing around, the managers, blah, 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 everybody just doesn't seem happy. And I said, I bet there was a time when they opened up, maybe for the first month, week, or year, who knows, when they were just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, and they just wished and hoped and prayed that they would be busy, and so busy that they'd fill their restaurant, and that was their dream. And then when it happens, it's like, oh my God, oh my God. So number one, when you're in massive growth mode, especially as a new entrepreneur or an emerging entrepreneur, maybe you had like a six-figure business, but you wanted to get to multiple six figures, there's that growth spurt, and things seem to get out of control. That's a good thing. And even though I'm a major fan of delegating and releasing and letting go and getting other people to do things, when you're in massive growth mode, there's a period where you, as the entrepreneur and owner, you have to be immersed in your business. You have to be going through this. It's a phase of the business that you must go through. If you just jump in, get super busy, start delegating everything, you really don't have a handle on what's going on. You know, I think it's Guy Kawasaki I heard speak one time, and he said, you know, he's got a tough road sometimes. He's traveling and speaking and flying all around. He's got his kids in private school, and he says, you know, being a successful entrepreneur is tough, and you got to suck it up. You got to suck it up is what he says. And I really like that. And, you know, even Gary Vaynerchuk says, you know why he's successful? Because he out-hustles you. He outworks you. The people who can really step it up, even when it's busy, hair on fire, emergency busy, when you suck it up and you go through that period, you start amassing more income and wealth, and therefore you get more comfortable hiring. Eventually, if you stay that busy, you could hire an operations manager or something. But in the initial stages of massive growth, you got to suck it up and go through it. And that sometimes means, unfortunately, and maybe this has to do with when you start your business or whatever, sometimes you're going to miss a ball game. Sometimes you're going to be working like 80 hours a week or 90 hours a week, or you're just going to, you know what? The difference between the top 1% and everybody else is they're generally willing to do things that other people are not willing to do in order to have a life that other people will not have. So there is this period, and so it's different for different people. There's a period where you're going to work really, really, really hard. Your life will spin out of control a little bit. Your high priorities of family and things might take a back seat. But you go through this transition, this rapid growth part of your business, and you come out the other side having very much more knowledge about what's going on, what the needs are, what the positions are. Then you start hiring people, and you bring it out, and then you start to rise up or ascend into the visionary leadership role with everybody doing things. But when you're in the soup, you have to be in the soup. So one of the profit seats, I said, you know what? I'm going to give you some straight scoop. You ready? Sometimes I call it tough love. I said, suck it up. You're in there. This is where you wanted to be. Go with it. You'll come out the other side. It beats the heck out of wondering where your next paycheck is or where your next client is. So it is that little transition phase. Okay, I did want to shoot a video here because we are nearing mid-October, and the boat comes out of the water the end of October, so we really only have a couple more weeks here. So even though I'm on R&R on this Monday after Dream Business Academy, I want to take advantage of my my floating office. So I hope that helps you. Then again, before the day's out, do something nice to put a smile on somebody's face. One random act of kindness at a time from everybody, including you. It's going to make the world a much nicer place. You know what? I'm going to take another morning nap here, but I'm going to turn the camera off, and we'll shoot another video next week. Until then, another great episode of Newsletter Guru TV. My name is Jim Palmer. I'm your host, and I'm your dream business coach. Why? Because I'm committed, and I'm committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. Until then, you take good care.